hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Teresa and I am documenting my knitting journey on YouTube. Today is actually a day where I want to show you everything that I have been working on for the last month and talk a bit about it. I'm doing a pretty standard format. I'm doing finished objects, whips and then acquisitions. So let's get started with the finished objects. The first finished object that I want to talk about is actually something that I'm wearing. I don't think you can see it very well because I'm sitting quite close to the camera, but I will also put a clip of me full body where I'm wearing it so you can see it a little better here. But it is the Gemma Polo from Cookie the Knitter, and I've been working on it for a really long time. I actually write everything down now in a knitting journal, so I know exactly how long I work on stuff, and just to put some notes in about every project. I think I've showed the knitting journal a while ago. I decorated it as well, so I will show the knitting journal 2.0 to you. I decorated it with stickers, so it's now looking like this, and this is the back. They are stickers from the We Are Knitters kit that I bought when I first started knitting. And there were a lot of stickers and I never used them. So I thought this would be the perfect way to actually get some use out of those stickers. But back to the main story, because I have to look up when I started the Gemma Polo. It is the 9th of November. So it has been like almost 3 months that it has been a whip, and it is finally finished now. The reason that it was a whip so long is that I was working on a test knit and on some Christmas socks, so those were my priority during those months. But now it is finally finished. I do need to block it still and weave in the ends. Weaving in the ends was actually one of my New Year's resolutions this year, because last year I did not weave in my ends all the time, and it's just not a good look on my on my knits, I feel like, and it's just a shame to have it look a little bit unfinished. So that's the only thing that needs to happen on this right now. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I used Drops Merino Extra Fine for this one in the colors Natural and Pistache. It was a very nice yarn to work with, and I would for sure recommend it. The stitch definition is amazing. I will try to show you a little bit. So as you can see, the stitch definition is just perfect in my eyes. This also was the first project where I had to sew on buttons and make buttonholes in a button band, which was very fun to do. And before I started, I thought that attaching buttons would be very difficult, but I feel like at the end attaching it was actually the easiest thing about the whole polo. So it all worked out in the end. I used wooden buttons as well, which I really love the look of on this, because it's an all natural vibe, if you get what I mean. Like the fiber is from an animal, and the buttons are also from nature because they are wood. So it gives a really cool handmade vibe. I don't have a lot of polos, so I really wanted to get some more polos in my wardrobe, and I'm really happy with this one. And also I love that it has stripes, because I love stripes, and I really wanted more stripes in my wardrobe. I think that's actually it for the Gemma Polo. I'm happy it is finally finished, because it was a whip for a very long time. I'm actually going to weave in the ends after filming this podcast, and after that I'm going to block it. So that's the plan for today. Then the second finished object that I have is actually a pair of socks. And these are also a pair of socks that I have been working on for a very long time. I think I started these a few podcasts ago. I will have to check as well. Oh, these ones I started even further back than the Gemma Polo. I started these at the end of September. So that's a really long time ago. And I finished the first one really quick. But after finishing the first one, I actually had a bit of a second sock syndrome. So I didn't finish the other one for months until now. But they are the Quantum socks, and here they are. The yarn is just so beautiful. It's the Regia yarn from Schechenmeyer, Regia print in the color pastel, and it has like a kind of self-striping, but not really stripes, but as you can see, it has like a little color pattern that the yarn does itself, which is really nice. And it has a really nice pattern on the leg, like this ribbed part, and the heel also has a little bit of the rib. And I will show you the lace a little bit more up front, so I will take it off and show it to you. So this is what the lace looks like. And these are actually one of my favorite socks at the moment to wear. I feel like they're so beautiful, so unique, and the combination of the pattern and the yarn is just amazing. I'm happy I finally finished them. I think one thing that helped is that I bought some new needles a while back. They are the needle set from Chiago, and they are just so amazing compared to the Zing needles that I was using, because I had a 2.5 fixed circular needle from Knit Pro Zing, and it had like a little bump that the stitches would latch onto, and then you had to pull it every time that you needed new stitches, which was not the best. And also the Chiago are a lot sharper, which is great for not splicing the yarn as I experienced it. And also for like doing, for example, the SSK decrease is so much simpler to do with the Chiago needles than with the Knit Pro Zing. So I feel like now that I have tasted better, I can never go back, because the Knit Pro Zings were fine when I were using them, but then when I started using the new ones, the Chiago ones, I felt like the real experience just started, and it was really fun. It was actually so fun to make socks, and so easy, and the needles were just gliding over each other in the best way. So if you're really into sock knitting, I would certainly recommend getting the Chiago needles. They have been so much fun already and put to good use. I've made 3 pairs of socks now with them, and I couldn't be happier. But yeah, I really am happy that I finished them finally, because that was also one of my knitting resolutions, that I finally would pick up my whips that I had in my whip pile for a long time and actually finish them. So I finally did it, and they are now finished, and I'm very happy with it. These are actually the 5th pair of socks that I am making of the 52 weeks of socks book. So only 47 more to go. Then after I finished these, I actually made another pair of socks, and they are the Erica socks again. I actually made this pattern a long while ago, and it was my first pair of socks. But this time I actually made them as a gift for a friend, and here they are again. They are not blocked. I couldn't block them because I don't have sock blockers in her size here. I only have sock blockers in my own size. So I thought of just giving them to her, and she can wash them herself, because the yarn can also go into the washing machine. So these are the socks. Here's the Erica sock pattern. And these are actually made from some stash yarn. It's the durable sock yarn tweed in the color lavender gray. And I also made the Turning Point socks with them. But at the time of making the turning point socks, I actually bought so much yarn because I didn't read the part about how much yarn you had to buy the correct way. So I bought like double the amount of yarn that I needed. But that's fine because now I made a second pair of socks, and I'm going to give it to my friends this weekend. This was also the first time that I made a sock pattern for the second time. I think I chose the Erica socks because I feel like it's such a fun memory of me making a sock for the first time, and I had so much fun then, and I really wanted to recreate the moment or something. And also I really love the pattern. I think it is my favorite pattern out of the whole book. I also feel like the Erica socks that I made for myself are so special to me because I feel like your first is always so special. Like my first sweater, the sweater number 15, is still my favorite sweater, and the Erica socks are still my favorite socks because the sweater number 15 was my first ever knit, and the Erica sock was actually my first ever sock. So I really wanted to make something special again, and that's why I chose it. Also, another reason is that this is also my first gift knit, so that's also a special occasion. The friend that I'm giving it to has actually been asking for something knitted, hand knitted for a while. So, and I've been saying that I will one day make something, but I've been saying that for like a year. So now is finally the moment that I'm gonna surprise her and I'm gonna give this to her. So that is actually really exciting. I think she will be very happy with it. She said that when she would get her knits, she would wear it day and night. So I'm really expecting her to do that. Then we will go to the whip section because those were actually all the finished objects that I have for this month. I only have one whip this month. I finished a lot and I casted on only one thing, and it is this. I'll try to get the pattern a little bit closer as well. But it is the Turenne sweater from Mille Strikker. And I made it with Vulcalane Peruvian Highland wool, which I wanted to try for a while. So I bought it in a Christmas red, which is not coming up as the same color on camera, and it's a little bit darker in real life. And also in the color oatmeal, which is this one, which is a little bit darker in real life. This actually also was a problem when ordering from the website because I thought this would be a little bit more beige, and it is a lot darker than I thought, but I already ordered it, and I was like, fine, I'll work with it, because I didn't want to order again and then have the wrong shade again. So I'm now working with the color oatmeal, which was not really what I expected, but it is fine. I still like it and I got used to it anyway. I really wanted to try this yarn for a while. I actually had another pattern in mind that I wanted to make with it, but I didn't. I went on and saw a lot of other great patterns. And actually this yarn is really great. It is very soft. It has like a 0 prickle factor, which is always nice. It is also a bit elastic, so it will block out a lot. The swatch that I did was really small, but then when I blocked it, it grew so much. So I know that the sweater will be a little bit more oversized than I'm knitting it now. I don't know if it's really clear, but how it looks now, it looks a little bit tight, but the swatch grew so much, so I think it will grow like a third more like this. So I have really good hope that it will turn out amazing. This year I also wanted to learn a lot more new techniques, and that was actually possible with this one. I learned the half fisherman rib with this one, which was really easy. It's just knitting one stitch below the stitch on your needle, and it looks like this. So it almost looks like a normal knit one, purl one ribbing, but the knit stitches are actually a little bit longer. Also, another new technique that I learned with this one is actually the horizontal knit stitch, and it looks really nice. It looks a little bit like a French braid in knitting, and you can see it in the red part. So it's like a knit stitch, but horizontal. So that was actually really fun to get some new techniques also in this one. It is also knitting up very fast. I think I started 5 days ago and I already have this much done, which is almost like half of the body. So I think this will be done very fast. I really love this pattern. I saw it a while ago when I was doing the 10 knitting patterns for winter, and I wanted to make them all, but this one really stood out to me and looked easy enough to get on the needles right away. And it also had Vilcolana as their recommended yarn, which I want to try out for a while. So I did a math, and 1 + 1 is 2. So I started it, and it has been really fun. It is a little bit weird to have just one whip on the needles, because I normally have more than one. So I can actually alternate between projects, but this one has been so fun to work on that I don't really feel the need to cast something else on, to catch a break on this one. But maybe that feeling will still come, but for now it is fine. I actually do want to make more of the sweaters from the knitting pattern video that I did. So one other pattern that I really want to make is the Snowfield sweater, and also I want to make the porcelain sweater. But I don't know what yarn I want to use for either of them. So when I figure that out, I will cast them on. But for now, I'm really happy with my one sweater whip. So I only had one whip for this month. So that will be it for the whip section. Then for acquisitions, of course, I bought the yarn for the sweater, which I already showed you. But I also bought something very exciting, which I have been thinking about for a long time, and also contemplating if I should or should not buy. But I had 2 needle sets that I really wanted to buy, and those were Chiago sets for the sock needles, the red one, and also I wanted to buy some Lykke needles. And I was really contemplating which set I wanted to buy from Lykke, because I really liked the driftwood set, and they had them in multiple colors. So they had like the blue one, they had a pink one, they had a gray one, and they had like a little bit of a beige umber one. I think the 2 that I liked the most out of them were the gray one and the umber one. Of course, they're all the same material and they all work the same, but like aesthetic wise, I wanted to have a pretty needle set if I'm gonna invest a lot of money into it. So at first I was set on the gray one, and the gray one was sold out everywhere for some reason. So I put some email alerts out to notify me when it would get in again. And it took like 2 months before I got an email alert, and then the price actually went up of the Lykke needle set. So it was I think it went up like 15 euros, which was a lot. So then I was in doubt again if I should actually buy it. But then in the Dutch knitting group chat, actually some people were recommending Wolfie yarn, which actually has the needle sets for a lot cheaper than they were on the websites that I was looking at. So I looked on their website, and it actually was a lot cheaper, but unfortunately they did not have the gray one. So then I was thinking again, should I buy another color then? Or should I save up a little bit more and buy the gray one anyway, because that was my first choice. But at the end, I have one, and it is the umber one. So I did buy the cheaper one of Wolf yarn, and I'm really happy with it. The case already is so beautiful. It looks a bit like leather, but it is really soft on a touch, almost like velvet. And it is a really cool case. So when you open it, it opens like this. And already one pair of needles is gone because I'm knitting the Turenne sweater that you just saw with it. But it has a really wide range of needles, going from 3.5 to 12 millimeter, which is a lot more sizes than I had before. They do come with some accessories as well, so they have a few cables. I think it is like 60 centimeter, 80 and 40. I'm not sure, I have to check that. And they have some needle stoppers as well, some cable connectors, like the screws that you use to actually tighten the needles. So yeah, it's really nice and I just love the look of them. The first few days when I had them, I actually would come downstairs here and go to this set and just open it and look at them for a bit, because they are just so beautiful. I'm really happy that I actually bought them, because the set that I've been using until now, I bought like, I don't know, I think I bought at the beginning of my knitting journey, which is at the end of January, begin February, so around the time that I bought this one, but last year. And I really wanted some wooden needles, because I've been using the metal needles from Knit Pro. So the same ones that I use for the socks, so Knit Pro Zing ones, but interchangeable. And I feel like the biggest difference between this one and the Knit Pro Zing ones is actually the temperature. So especially now when it is very cold, when the metal needles would touch your skin, it would be so cold and really annoying. And also the sound that the metal needles make, like the little clicking noise of metal on metal, was not that pleasant. I was not that bothered by it, but it is also very nice to not have to hear it while knitting. One other thing though, I've been using the 4mm ones now for the Turenne sweater, and actually this is the first time that I actually experienced wrist pain. So I'm not sure if it is because of these needles, or if it is because I've been knitting so many hours a day for so long that it's now finally catching up with me. But the wrist pain is not that bad that I can't knit anymore, so I've been taking it a little bit easier and not knitting that many hours a day. So I don't know if that's something that people with Lykke needles also experience, or if it's just me. Let me know. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy new needles anytime soon. I have enough to last me for another year, I feel like. I do think that I want to try out some other needle materials as well in the future, like for example bamboo, or like another kind of wood, and also like different kinds of brands. I heard the sea knits are very nice, and I would like to try those at some point. But for now I'm really happy and content with what I have. And that's actually also it for acquisitions, because it was really expensive to buy. So I felt like I shouldn't really buy anything more than that for this month. But I also didn't need anything more, so that's fine. That worked out in the end. So yeah, that will be it for acquisitions. One little sewing update. I'm trying to block some time every week to sew, to work on sewing, and it actually worked. I try to do one thing every week. So last week I ironed some interfacing onto some parts of the pants, and this week I zigzag stitched around some edges for the pants to not make them fray anymore. And the next part will be to actually assemble, start assembling. So I'm very content that I actually also stuck to that New Year's resolution. But yeah, that will be it for this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked sharing it with you. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like. And if you want to keep up with me, consider subscribing. And then I want to wish you a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time.